David McCullough, author of The Johnstown Flood and two-time Pulitzer Prize winner and historian, has written, "There is no question about the importance of the old Cambria ironworks. The age of steel in America can fairly be said to have begun there, and so those buildings aren't just buildings in the story of Johnstown, but in the history of our country. Within those walls, Johnstown technicians and Johnstown ironworkers, true pioneers, transformed the production of steel, and steel transformed America." A large number of those pioneers came to Johnstown in the late 19th century from Eastern Europe, and in addition to finding work, they created communities. Susan Kalcik came to Johnstown in 1990 as part of a study of the region. In less than a month, she fell in love with it and decided to spend the rest of her life here, studying the people and culture, her people and culture.
When I came to Johnstown, a lot of people said, "Why are you here? Why would you leave Washington, D.C. and the Smithsonian and come here?" And I said, "You guys, you've got something that we don't have out there in the big city. You have that sense of neighborhood, that sense of family, that sense of community. And when you're proud of yourself, you're also then comfortable with other people who are proud of themselves." Everywhere I went, there was a little bit of reluctance, but as soon as that people knew that I was as interested in their stuff and as proud of it as they were, then it was the outpouring. It didn't hurt that my mom was born in Cambria County in Barnesboro, and so I was like almost a semi-native, and that helped. People felt very comfortable with me, and I felt like I had come home.
For much of this time, Susan has worked closely with the Slovak Heritage Association of the Laurel Highlands. Ruth Kuchera, the association's first president, sees the need for us to value our heritage.
I think it's very critical to hold on to heritage, not necessarily just Slovak, but all heritage groups. The past is all around us, and it influences us greatly, still, in the food we eat, in how we relate to one another, in the jobs that we do, in our temperaments, and how we handle our home life, in many different ways.
Longtime residents Phil Solomon and Karen Maceros were also deeply involved with the Slovak Heritage Association and have worked closely with Susan.
I hope that through Slovak Heritage Association and other ethnic groups that we kind of hold on to those. I'm proud that our family still carries on the traditions of the old country with the Christmas Eve, the Easter, just the things that we do naturally growing up. I assumed all families did that.
Growing up in the home environment that I did, a bilingual language every day around me that was very uncommon for those my age. But those who knew my father, he was they called him Mr. Slovak. And I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. I think it was like, feeling like I need to do this through him, for him and for others like him, so that his mission can, continue on.
For Susan and those involved in the Slovak Association of the Laurel Highlands, the importance of preserving our heritage is obvious.
I remember once working on a project at the Smithsonian, and somebody said, "Well, it's not money that's the issue, it's priorities. Money is there, it depends on what you want to spend it on." So the community as a whole, individuals, groups, have to think about where they want to put their money. And if they want to put their money in heritage, then boy, they've got an awful lot of it here.